Welcome to our cozy kitchen. Today we're sharing some of the best soups to keep you warm this winter. These aren't your grandmother's soups though. We're going to elevate these classics to restaurant-quality dishes. We're talking bold flavors, fresh ingredients, and techniques that will make you feel like a five-star chef. So grab your aprons and let's get cooking. We'll be using ingredients like fresh vegetables, hearty beans, and aromatic herbs. Follow along with our step-by-step instructions to create these delicious soups right at home. First up, we've got a tomato basil soup that will knock your socks off. We're starting with fresh, ripe tomatoes because flavor is everything. Don't even think about using those watery, tasteless canned tomatoes. We're going to roast them with garlic and onions to intensify their sweetness. Next, we'll create a silky smooth base with a touch of cream because luxury never hurt anyone. Finally, the star of the show, fresh basil leaves. Don't you dare use that dried stuff. We want bright, vibrant flavor. This soup is the perfect balance of sweet, tangy, and aromatic. A true symphony of flavor. Here's what you'll need. 2 pounds of fresh tomatoes, 4 cloves of garlic, 1 large onion, 1/2 cup of cream, a bunch of fresh basil, salt, pepper, and olive oil. Start by chopping the tomatoes, mincing the garlic, and dicing the onion. Roast them in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25-30 minutes until they're caramelized and sweet. Blend the roasted vegetables until smooth, then add 1/2 cup of cream. Chop the fresh basil and stir it into the soup. Season with salt and pepper to taste and give it a good stir. Ladle the soup into bowls, garnish with a bit more basil and a drizzle of cream. And there you have it, a delicious tomato basil soup that's sure to impress. Now let's talk about a classic, chicken noodle soup. This isn't your average bland chicken soup. We're going to make it sing. We'll start with a rich, flavorful broth, using a whole chicken for maximum flavor. None of those stock cubes here. We'll add aromatic vegetables like 3 carrots, 3 celery stalks, and 1 large onion for depth and fragrance. And for the noodles, we're using homemade egg noodles. Trust me, the extra effort is worth it. This soup is the definition of comfort food, but with a touch of elegance. Here's what you'll need. A whole chicken, 3 carrots, 3 celery stalks, 1 large onion, 4 cloves of garlic, a handful of fresh parsley, 2 sprigs of thyme, 2 bay leaves, and 2 cups of homemade egg noodles. Start by simmering the whole chicken with 8 cups of water, parsley, thyme, and bay leaves to create a rich broth. Simmer for about 1.5 hours, skimming off any foam. Sauté the carrots, celery, and onion in a separate pot until fragrant about 5-7 minutes. Then strain the broth and add it to the vegetables. Finally, add 2 cups of homemade egg noodles and cook until tender, about 8-10 minutes. Serve hot, garnished with fresh parsley. Enjoy your elevated chicken noodle soup. Get ready for a taste of fall with this butternut squash soup. The sweetness of the squash, combined with warm spices like cinnamon and nutmeg, will have you feeling all warm and fuzzy inside. We'll roast the squash with the spices to bring out their natural sugars, then blend it to a velvety, smooth perfection. A touch of cream adds richness and luxury. Don't be shy with the seasoning. A pinch of salt and pepper can make all the difference. This soup is like a warm hug in a bowl. For this recipe, you'll need 1 butternut squash, peeled and cubed, 1 onion, chopped, 2 cloves of garlic, minced, 2 cups of vegetable broth, 1 cup of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, salt and pepper to taste. Start by preheating your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Peel and cube 1 butternut squash, then place it on a baking tray. Drizzle with olive oil and sprinkle with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Roast for about 25 minutes until tender. Meanwhile, chop 1 onion and mince 2 cloves of garlic. In a large pot, sauté the onion and garlic in a bit of olive oil until translucent. Add the roasted squash and 2 cups of vegetable broth. Simmer for 15 minutes. Blend the mixture until smooth, then stir in 1 cup of heavy cream. Season with salt and pepper to taste. Enjoy. Next up, we're taking on a French classic, French onion soup. This soup is all about caramelized onions. And I mean caramelized. We're talking slow and low until they're golden brown and bursting with sweetness. A splash of dry sherry adds complexity and depth, while a generous helping of Gruyere cheese melted on top adds a salty, cheesy crust. This soup is a flavor bomb in every bite. For this recipe, you'll need 4 large onions, 4 cups of beef broth, 1/2 cup of dry sherry, and 2 cups of grated Gruyere cheese. Start by slicing the onions and cooking them in 4 tablespoons of butter until caramelized, which should take about 30 minutes. Add the 4 cups of beef broth and let it simmer for 20 minutes. Pour in the 1/2 cup of dry sherry and let it cook for another 10 minutes for that extra depth of flavor. Finally, top with 2 cups of grated Gruyere cheese and broil until melted and bubbly. Enjoy! Last but not least, we have a hearty and flavorful lentil soup. Lentils are packed with protein and fiber, making this soup both satisfying and nutritious. We'll start by sautéing aromatic vegetables like onions, carrots, and celery. Then add 1 cup of lentils and 4 cups of broth. A bay leaf adds depth of flavor, while a squeeze of lemon juice brightens up the whole dish. This soup is proof that healthy can be delicious. For this recipe, you'll need 1 cup of lentils, 2 carrots, 2 celery stalks, 1 onion, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 bay leaf, 1 lemon, and 4 cups of broth. Start by mincing the garlic and sautéing it with the diced carrots, celery, and onion in a tablespoon of olive oil. Let the soup simmer for about 30 minutes, or until the lentils are tender and the flavors meld together. Serve hot and enjoy your nutritious and delicious lentil soup. So there you have it, 5 incredible soup recipes that will warm you up from the inside out. Don't be afraid to get creative and make these recipes your own. Add your own personal touch, and remember, cooking should be fun. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more delicious recipes. Until next time, happy cooking. Here's a quick recap of the ingredients and instructions for our featured soups. For the classic chicken noodle soup, you'll need chicken broth, noodles, carrots, celery, and shredded chicken. Simply simmer the broth, add the veggies and noodles, and cook until tender. Stir in the chicken and enjoy. For the creamy tomato basil soup, gather tomatoes, basil, garlic, cream, and vegetable broth. Roast the tomatoes and garlic, blend with basil and broth, then stir in the cream for a rich, comforting soup. For a hearty beef stew, you'll need beef chunks, potatoes, carrots, onions, and beef broth. Brown the beef, add the veggies and broth, and let it simmer until everything is tender and flavorful. For a spicy lentil soup, gather lentils, tomatoes, onions, garlic, and your favorite spices. Sauté the onions and garlic, add the lentils, tomatoes, and spices, then simmer until the lentils are tender. For a creamy potato leek soup, you'll need potatoes, leeks, garlic, cream, and vegetable broth. Sauté the leeks and garlic, add the potatoes and broth, cook until tender, then blend with cream for a smooth finish. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more delicious recipes. Until next time, happy cooking!